fact, I think ZergInfested could stay with a huge army of Hydralisks and be completely fine, as Hydralisks are fairly amazing against this type of army. Now throwing up a photon cannon at the bottom of his ramp to help defend this pathway, which not a horrible idea. Every little bit does help, and this zealot is running around looking for any expansions, which is also a very good idea. I'm surprised not to see an observer come out instead of that immortal, actually. That way you can start killing some of these creep tumors off and fun stuff like that. And looks like the Hydralisks are moving out now. I really would have loved to see a 1-1 upgrade on them by now. And looks like there are 2 Zerglings, but look how fast these zealots pop to these Hydralisks. That's why I'm saying Hydralisks are just so good against tier 1. He can take down that cannon in a second, and it looks like he will. And now the Guardian shield's down, so it looks like this battle's not going to go too well for NARF, even though he has a very good position here because these units were divided here. There's a couple Hydralisks not getting in the action in the back, more Zealots warping in, so going to be able to hold this off and kill the rest of these Hydralisks. Roaches and Hydras now, so this is the build I originally wanted, but I would really love to see double evolution chambers. I don't even see an evolution chamber up at all from him, which I think is a huge mistake. Colossi is now coming out for NARF, so that's a big thing. And he does take out this gold, which is a good thing, otherwise he'd be further behind the economic game. But I really think he should have just run these stalkers away, pulling the drones to do attack as well to really make sure this goes badly for NARF. And throwing up a new hatchery up at the gold immediately. NARF still keeping with his tier 1, but he is 1-1 upgraded. That will help him a little bit. I really wish we would see upgrades out of the Zerg player. That would completely make his position more dominating, really. And it looks like, oh, that's just an observer just going out, scouting these, making sure no Nidus Worm or Overlord drop. Got an expansion up here. So, very good plan there. I love Colossi against Zerg. Does he have the range upgrade? It is being researched. That is absolutely huge, so good job researching that. But I have noticed that Roaches and Hydras are actually a very effective combo against those Colossi. So it's been something I've been having a lot of luck with lately. And he is also getting some Corruptors out, so that's a very solid mix against Colossi, Hydras, Roaches, and Corruptors. I hope he doesn't overreact too much like I see some Zerg players do, and they're like, oh god, there's a Colossus, I need to get 7,000 Corruptors. But only 5, which I still think might be a tiny little bit much. No upgrades for his air units, still no evil chambers. I think this is just a huge oversight by ZergInfested. Would really take his game up an entire level if he were to start getting upgrades. You think about how many Hydralisks he have and how many Roaches he has. For the cost of like 1 Hydra or 2 Hydralisks, he'd have. Oh, and this is almost a bad position for ZergInfested. He's going to lose all of these Hydralisks before they go. And losing his Colossi to these Corruptors because the ground units are attacking the ground units instead of shooting down these Corruptors. These 2 Corruptors not being active. We'll get down this Colossi too, and looks like this is going to be a fairly even matchup. More Stalkers coming in to help out NARF. And it looks like this expansion is in danger of dying yet again, and this poor queen just coming to life and going splat immediately afterwards. That's got to be one of the quickest queen lives ever. Hiding his drones over here, trying to make sure that he doesn't lose all of his drones when he loses this expansion. Always a smart thing to do. Stalkers shooting these overlords that are probably misrallied at this point. There are only 3 Hydras in their production tab, but here comes a lot of Roaches to help clean this up. The Roaches do have their speed researched, so losing that expansion again, replanning it immediately. Really surprised not to see NARF grab his own gold expansion while all this is going on, but trying to run his soccer straight up into the Roaches, that's a little strange to me, but alright, cleans that up. And the reason he didn't clean that up faster is because 0 upgrades. That really is hurting him. I can't stress that enough. And here comes another small army out for NARF. I think he's getting a little over-aggressive here. I think he should have just stayed back. I think he also has too many zealots in this mix-up now due to the fact of roaches and the corruptors coming in. He doesn't have enough stalkers to deal with these corruptors shooting at the colossi, so... I thought he had more corruptors than just one left, but I suppose not. And it looks like he's going to go up here and eliminate this gold yet again. Oh, there's the more corruptors coming in, trying to pick shots up at the Colossus. But these 3 stalkers all scared away. I would have loved to see a lot more stalkers out of NARF. I don't know why he isn't building more stalkers. He's got plenty of money. Going with Zealots still at this point seems a little strange, especially since they still don't have charge. I'm not even sure he has a Twilight Council up yet. That's also surprising to me, as not getting the Twilight Council is, at this state, you can say, a mistake. You need to get it for your 2-2 upgrades. I'm surprised he hasn't gone 1-1-1 yet. There is no reason for him not to. Plenty of resources. Is he warping in more Zealots? Yes, he is. That makes 0 sense to me. When you have this much gas, and they're going a lot of roaches, build Stalkers and Colossi. It's a lot more effective, especially when you got 2 Corruptors that you can't stop because you don't have enough Stalkers. That's just embarrassing for you. And it looks like he is getting ready to move out these spine crawlers, probably up to his gold that he's now given up on, instead of now focusing on his second natural, or whatever you want to call it, which is probably the smarter idea, as it is a lot easier to defend than all the way up out here. And the Protoss player is now going for his gold as well. Now finally warping in more stalkers, but very low on the minerals, as he is only mining on this one base now. Once he gets this, transfers some probes to the gold, which he can do right now. Probably should have started transferring them a little bit sooner, that way he would be bringing in that gold very fast. He is now finally getting his ground 2 upgrade and his charge upgrade, so that will help his zealots become even more effective. And that's not enough of a transfer. Come on, man. You have, how many is that? Yeah, oversaturated on his natural by far, and didn't pull nearly enough to fully saturate his gold. Go fully saturate that gold is better. And now you're fighting in the spine crawlers. I guess fatigue starting to set in for the Protoss player, not making the best decisions right now. Going to absolutely lose this battle between the roaches and the spine crawlers. But the only reason why these battles aren't even more lopsided is because these units are 1-1 upgraded and his Hydra lists are still 0-0. When you're doing a Roach Hydra composition, doing the 1-1 upgrades for Roach Hydras is absolutely critical, as you get double on that. Oh, it looks like we do have an Ultralist Cavern up as well. As NARF keeps coming out with the Zealots, I don't know why you're not going for a Stalker Colossus army, buddy. I've got to say this is one of the worst things I've seen. In fact, I think at this point he'd be in huge trouble if you went with Stalker Colossi, as Colossi absolutely eat Hydras, and now the fact that you have 2 0-1 upgrades and would absolutely destroy those Hydras. Instead, you're going for charge lots, which will do okay here in a second. Now this is alright. Are you kidding me? You haven't gotten a single upgrade in the game, but you're going to go ahead and get the 2 armor upgrade, and are you finally throwing up an evolution chamber? Yes, way too late in the game, but I guess late's better than never. And again, fighting at the spine crawler. These Zealots are going to get absolutely eaten by the Hydras and Roaches. This would be even worse if the Hydras were standing behind the Roaches, but whatever, doesn't really matter. Ultralists are out now. Corruptors are out. Still just more Zealots. And more Zealots. No Stalkers, just Zealots. He's seen the Ultras, knows that he needs to get things that do high damage against armored, like Stalkers, and he's still going with mass Zealots. Alright. I don't even know what to say. And it looks like at least he has a bunch of guys on his gold, so he is bringing in lots of money now. He does have a healthy amount of warp gates. Needs to be warping in something besides Stalkers. Needs to be building Colossi. I don't know why he's given up on those so easily, just because of the few Corruptors. If you had a strong Stalker Colossi army, it would be absolutely fine. And this gold expansion is going to get absolutely taken out. Trying to throw down some photon cannons right now, but are not going to build fast enough. Oh, sorry, photon cannons. And sorry, gold expansions. You are going to die very quickly. You'd die even quicker if ZergInfested had some upgrades. I know I've said that like 100 times this game, but that's just how strongly I feel about it. Oh, doing a counterattack with the massive amount of charge lots. that are going to be completely ineffective as soon as these ultras climb up here. And now that the ultras are on creep, they're super fast. And ooh, more ultras popping out too. Yeah, watch how these ultras just don't die to these zealots. Look how long that's taking. Oh, there they finally start going. Yeah, you see how long that takes, and that's partly because of the 2 armor upgrade. Now, if he had 3 or 4 armor right now, which he could have if he had been upgrading, it would go even worse for those zealots, since those zealots are currently 3 weapon upgraded. Absolutely huge. Very, very good upgrades by the Protoss player. Finally getting stalkers in this mix. I don't know what took so long. Throwing up, ZergInfested is throwing up his gold expansion, since he did lose this expansion as well, but still in a much better position than NARF, as he hasn't mined out quite as quickly as natural, so he's still mining at least a little bit. Doesn't have a huge stockpile of minerals, neither does the Protoss player. So much gas, and that's because he's just concentrated so much on these zealots and not building stalkers, not building colossi, not building the gas heavy units, and I have no idea why he's stuck with the zealots so much. Killing that roach up there, that was kind of an expensive unit to leave scouting. Leave an overlord scout or something like that. That's 2 food just sitting there, not part of your army. That's pretty big. Alright, going for his gold expansion, and these zealots are going to come to try to take it out, but this is a massive army. As soon as it runs up here, he should cancel this hatchery so he doesn't lose. Yep, does cancel it. Very nice. And then they let the drone live, saying, we know you're going to rebuild it anyways. You can just stay there. It's cool. That was actually also a little strange to me, and I expect a new hatchery to get flopped down immediately. There's an observer right there to look at everything, so. But it looks like here comes the death push from ZergInfested, as I don't see there's being quite enough to stop these massive amount of immortals that are nothing still upgraded. He built that Evo chamber and still didn't start upgrading. Finally researching burrow for his roaches as well. You know, I think he fully upgraded his roaches with the burrow speed and the other speed I will check very quickly, as NARF does GG out of this game. No, he did not get the tunneling claws. But, alright, just good game by ZergInfested. Nice unit mix by him. Horrible unit mix by NARF, going way too heavy on these zealots. And also upgrades would have helped ZergInfested a lot. I'm glad to see him not overreact to the colossi, only having 4 or 5 corruptors out at a single time. And NARF has left the game, so. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this replay. I hope you can remember to upgrade from now on if you're watching this, since you can see how much of a deal I made out of it throughout the entire cast. I think it is absolutely critical that you do your upgrades throughout a map. It really makes a huge difference. I've started doing it as Zerg a lot, and when you have like 2 roaches and hydras, that army's so much tougher. Anyways, thanks for watching.